Meeting.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Meyer, second by Commissioner Bagley to approve the meeting minutes from March 24th. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Okay, approved. Chairperson's report. Nothing on the shack will have a meeting, I think, later this month. One thing I sit on a subcommittee that does prevention, a small amount of prevention work from a federal grant. And I said, the hot topic right now, of course, is with all the soccer, FIFA and Ebola. And the news that, these people are being allowed to come into, I think, very specific airports for further screening if they're coming from certain parts of the world and such. So I said, what should we be telling Minnesotans and such, any precautions or any extra things they should, because it is a worldwide and it's a very nasty, disease. And they didn't have any answers for me yet, but the state people, they thought, yeah, they could maybe work on something to give people a little heads up of what's going on. And locally, tick season, everybody check themselves for ticks. That's a nasty little thing going on. And other than that, anybody aware of any health things going on?
I saw the check sent us a letter that they're now admitting tribal leaders onto check, which I think is
Yes.
a new thing.
Yep. That's true. Okay. We have no consent business. General business, 5.1, approve resolution naming agents of Community Health Board. And Jill is with us, but it's appointing both Jill and Ross. Is that the one that does?
No,
Or is that the next one?
no, I think Jill has to get approved.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
right. Okay. So you're fully qualified now? You passed all the tests and all the, I know there's certain things that you gotta have. It's not just a,
Yeah, they.
okay, all right.
I vote to approve both 5.1, 5.2.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion to approve. Let's see, let me refresh what 5.2 is at page 20. Sorry.
Page 9. Also, I have a paper copy, which I'd be happy to pass over to you.
Just a sec, I'll find it here. Okay, they're both related. Okay,
Correct.
yeah, they're both.
One is to appoint Jill and Ross, and then one is to approve.
Yeah,
So it's
I
to
remember
approve the resolution naming agents of the Community Health Board and to
Right.
approve the resolution appointing Jill Chafee as Community Health Services Administrator.
Right, okay, all right. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Approved. All right, you're our official, Jill Chafee is our official community services, public health person. Good, thank you.
I'll move to approve the Public Health Board meeting. I mean,
Adjourn?
Yeah, adjourn.
Okay, we have a motion to adjourn.
Right.
We have a second?
Second.
Oh, second by Commissioner Olson. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Approved. All right, we are adjourned.
Do we have, what's the Wi-Fi? What are we?
Sam, did you see Sam?
Morning?
We begin our meetings with public comment. And so if there are folks in the audience today who would like to share some thoughts with us, please step to the podium, tell us your name and address. And do please try to limit your comments to 2 minutes. We have a timer.
Good morning, County Board. My name is Amber Pashi. I live in Lewiston, Minnesota. I'm a parent, former elementary school librarian, and current school board member and social worker. I've had a lot of different roles in my life, but honestly, none of them would have been possible without me first being a library kid. The library is where my Pakistani mother practiced English. It's one of the few places that we could go every day that was free, safe, and welcoming. We didn't have to buy anything to belong there. We could just walk in, and that matters, and it still matters. Now I'm raising my own children, and we make weekly trips to the Winona Public Library and St. Charles Public Library. I see firsthand how libraries continue to serve families beyond books. They provide internet access, early literacy support, educational programming, community connection, and simply a safe place for people to exist without expectation. As a former elementary school librarian here at Bluffview Montessori, I saw every day that libraries are so much more than places to check out books. They're community spaces, places where kids can gather to share stories, learn from each other, be creative, and simply connect. In a time where so much of childhood happens through screens, those spaces for genuine human connection matter more than ever. But I also understand as a school board member the importance of fiscal responsibility. Last night, our own school board discussed the reality of our state library aid being cut in half, so I understand the pressures you're on. Budgets require difficult decisions, but I also think it's important to recognize that funding libraries is also preventative work. It's crime prevention, it's child abuse and neglect prevention, it's educational support, it's community mental health support. In my work as a social worker, most of what we do is reactive. By the time systems like mine are involved, families are already in crisis, children are struggling, parents are overwhelmed. Communities are trying to respond to harm after it's already happened. If we truly want Winona County to thrive long-term, we have to continue investing in preventative community spaces and programs before families ever reach that point. And libraries are one of those spaces. When funding gets reduced, the impact is not equal. Families with means will still have books at home, reliable internet, tutoring, and enrichment opportunities. And families without those resources lose one of the truly last accessible public spaces they have. Libraries quietly hold communities together in ways that are hard to measure on a spreadsheet, but it's really easy to see in real life. They certainly help shape mine. I hope we continue treating libraries like the essential public service they are. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else here in the audience that would like to share some thoughts with us? I see the timer wasn't going.
Yeah, I'm working with,
Okay, otherwise I can just turn my timer on.
Good morning.
Good
My name
morning.
is, good morning. My name is Patsy Gavin. I'm a citizen member here in Winona. I'm a volunteer at the public library. I see how well it is used. There is nothing really that I can add beyond this great summary that the previous speaker just had. She gave many, many good points. This library is well used. It's needed by the community. It's needed by all ages and all ranks in life. It's well used and it's well represented in our town. We need to figure out a way that we can continue its services so that it can stay here the way it is. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Is there anybody online that wants to participate in public comment? I'm assuming that today you're able to unmute yourself. We sometimes have trouble with that, but I'll ask 2 more times. Is there anyone here in the room or online that would like to participate in public comment today? And one final time, is there anyone here in the audience or participating online that would like to speak at public comment? Hearing none, I'm closing the public comment period. I did want to announce for the folks who are here, we are not discussing library funding today. Having our next budget working session on the June 23rd meeting is apparently tentative, not for sure. We will be discussing the budget again though in July. And we do not have to set our preliminary levy until end of August.
Correct.
So my guess is we won't be setting it until then. A lot of things I think will be more clear to us in terms of our overall funding situation by then. But thank you for coming. Next order of business, we have some minutes that need approval.
I'll move to approve 4.1, the county board meeting from May 26th.
I'll second that.
Okay, Commissioner Ward has moved. Commissioner Vagley has seconded approval of the county board minutes from May 26, 2026. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, say nay. Motion carries.
I'll move to approve item 5.1, Health and Human Services Advisory Committee meeting from May 19th.
I'll second that. Okay, Commissioner Vagley's moved and Commissioner Meyer has seconded approval of the Health and Human Services Advisory Committee meeting from May. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 If anyone's opposed, please say nay. Motion carries. Do we have any adjustments to the agenda? County Attorney's Office? Not from us. Commissioner Bagley?
Two quick comments at the end, please.
Commissioner Elsting?
Comments at the end. Oh, and I'd like to pull 7.7. Being as Chad's here, I got some questions.
Okay, 7.7 is being pulled. We'll move that to general business and make it 8.0. Okay. Commissioner Olson has nothing. Commissioner Ward?
I would like a brief discussion on 7.2, so I'd like to pull that to general
Okay, so
business.
7.2, we're gonna make that 8.01.
And then just an update at the end, please.
Okay, and I'm gonna share some information about the spongy moth treatments. Does administration have anything, Phil? No. Okay, so we have some slight adjustments to our agenda. Is there a motion to approve it as it was amended?
So moved. Second.
Okay. Commissioner Olson has moved. Commissioner Elsing has seconded approval of the amendment as it was agended. Is there any further discussion? What did I say?
That was a twist of words there, the amenda as agenda.
The agenda as amended. Thank you. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 If anyone's opposed, say nay. Hey, agenda is approved. Sonberg, will you please read the consent business
For one.
for the record?
Item 7.1, approve resolution appointing Jill Chafee as Community Services Administrator. 7.2 was pulled. 7.3, approve resolution of Minnesota Trail Assistance Program. 7.4, award bid for aggregate shouldering to Dunn Blacktop Company. Item 7.5, accept certificate of performance and authorize final payment for CASA 16 and 20 resurfacing. 7.6, award bid for 2026 pavement markings to Sir Lines A Lot LLC. Item 7.7 was moved. Item 7.8, approve 2024 emergency management performance grant. And item 7.9, confirm payment of disbursements.
I'll move to approve the consent items.
Second.
Commissioner Bagley's moved. Commissioner Elsing has seconded approval of the consent business as it was read. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
If anyone's opposed, please say nay. Consent business is approved. So we're going to move on to item 8.0, which used to be 7.7. Approve statement of work from Heartland Business Systems for household hazardous waste camera project.
Put you under the gun, Chad.
Hey, that's all right. Good
Page
morning.
41.
Good morning.
So I'm reviewing this, Chad, and keep in mind, I own a fair amount of properties and have a lot of camera systems and
Yes, sir.
I've seen these before because I've contacted different companies to put things in, and there's a lot of fees and contracts, and you look online and you say, hey, professional versus something you can maybe buy, on an Amazon system or something.
Yep.
But I was just doing the math and trying to figure out, I feel like we're kind of getting hosed on this situation, and, in the future, are we really paying $5,000 a camera to have a camera? And, that's the situation here is we've got 8 cameras with a $40-some thousand bill. So we're paying $5,000 per camera. And I'm just trying to figure out the justification behind that from this company. And I got a series of questions with this. And again, none of this is to undermine you. I just would like to understand this a little better. There's a lot of contracts and fees and, 10-year this and et cetera, et cetera. What are we really getting for these large fees for 10-year multi-sensor license, 10-year viewing station license? Especially in today's age where a lot of this stuff is pretty simple, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It just seems over the top for 8 cameras.
the licensing, no matter what camera system you go with, there's a licensing model that follows it. We went with a 10-year license model on this because the cameras normally last at least 10 years. So we saved some money there on the 10-year licensing. And then, and maybe Ross can speak to this well. So just a little bit of background on this. IT doesn't manage the camera systems. It's managed by HR. And they call us in if they ever need to pull footage. But I was asked to help drive this 5-year project by Marine. And the reason we were trying to get ahead of this one for Ross, a couple of reasons. One, his cameras are so antiquated, they don't work anymore. Folks that, steal things from the outside, there was a girl huffing something the other day, couldn't get a face. They don't work. They're extremely old. I don't know how many, couple decades old. So I don't know if Ross, you want to add anything, but we did have several vendors. We looked at Digicom, who will be doing the cabling for this, and another vendor, AV Solutions, I think. These guys were the cheapest. Verkada is the system that we already have, so it ties into our current environment. They did work on the courthouse a couple months ago and did a great job. They were in and out pretty seamlessly. And then we also wanted to get ahead of this because of tariffs and everything else. As of July 1st, the pricing on all of this could go up even 30%. So is that a sales pitch from them to get it pushed through? Maybe. But the money's allocated for this project at $100,000 a year for the next 5 years. It comes out of the capital plan for maintenance department. So when we move forward with this, because we wanted to get Ross up on the list because his cameras are so bad, he had some extra funds that he wanted to help go towards this. So it's he's taking half of the funds out of his area, and then half will come out of Aaron's area in maintenance under capital improvement. So yeah, I get the pricing. I mean, they're all this way. This way they're managed, supported.
So that's my
Yes.
question is
Yeah.
I own camera systems. I
Yeah.
don't pay any subscription fees besides a little Ring one that I have at my house.
Right.
I can literally go onto my phone and dial into every single camera I have. They're all backed up for 30 days, just like this. If I could throw these camera systems out and buy them 8 times for the cost of this, for the same 5 cameras. So they could fail 8 times and I'd be even money by simply walking up and taking the camera
Yeah.
off and putting it back. So I'm questioning this just because, oftentimes contractors see government and it's the owner ain't writing the check and they're not doing, so I realize that we need cameras. The question isn't whether or not we need to updo the cameras. I'm just looking at holistically, if 5 cameras cost us $5,000 a piece and we have 40 cameras, that's $200,000 to maintain that camera system. And, I'm sure we have more than 40 cameras. So I'm just looking at the overall cost saying, is there a cheaper way to do this? Because I know many different ways to do this way cheaper than this. And so I'm just questioning that. And I realize integrating into what we have, but there's plenty of camera systems out there that don't have licensing agreements that we can obtain. And that's usually where they get you, is in this
Yeah.
licensing.
Yeah, that is the model, unfortunately. And, as a commercial model, I guess that's just kind of the par for the course. But
Yeah.
I mean, the team did do a lot of research and meeting with vendors, and we use this company for other software systems. They supply or installed our Exagrid backup system. They're responsive. I don't know.
Oh,
Ross may have had
Yeah.
a question up. He unmuted.
does want to make a question, but I would like to give Ross Dunsmore an opportunity to respond first.
Well, before he responds, I guess my big question is, what's the problem we're trying to solve? I'm looking at the little picture and you got 5 red dot, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little red dots. Is that where you're planning to put cameras? And again, what is the problem that we need? And are they all outdoor cameras? I mean, is it just monitoring the outdoor or, and you've got blind spots all over the parking lot. So,
This is here now.
so again, what's the problem? I mean, you said somebody huffing, but so what are we going to do with that?
Well, I
mean,
think
are we
it's,
creating
that was
another-
just one example, but it's different for different areas, like in Karen's area in the courthouse, they need cameras for different reasons, obvious.
Well, dropped a load of tires recently and we couldn't tell who it was because our cameras are.
Yeah, we did have someone last year drove over a light pole, got his car stuck in this parking lot, but it was so blurry we couldn't make anything out as well.
What
So
would
it
we,
caused
what-
damage.
so we get a better picture. Are we gonna prosecute or penalize? Are we gonna spend $47,000 going after these people? Or, well, again, what's the?
Like I said, I don't manage the systems. I don't have anything to do with the camera system. So I'm helping with the.
Just to be clear.
Well,
implementation.
you're the messenger.
I'm the one that helps get them installed.
Exactly. I'm not questioning the cameras. I'm just looking at if 5 cameras cost us this much money, how much money are we spending on the whole system?
Cameras.
And I own,
I can send you the.
but you see where I'm going? This seems like I've put in camera systems for less than the cost of one camera.
Right.
Entire systems that I can monitor 24/7, rewind, go forward, all cloud backed up, spaced. I mean, and I have 8, 9, 10 cameras on it. I mean, I can go right on my phone right now and do it. It's all locked in. I mean, it just seems like this is an excessive amount of money. And if this is only for 5 cameras, what are we spending? You know?
I can forward you all the quotes and the
Yeah.
the project timeline and roadmap and everything for
I'm
it.
I'm looking at it as a whole saying, do we need to, as we go forward, is there an alternative rather than going down a company-based system that has, to me, a very expensive cost to it?
Yeah, I mean, I can speak to the requirement. The requirement that we have the cameras is related to our federal DOT plan. We have a security plan related to some of the waste that we accept. And under federal law, we're required to have a camera system.
I'm not arguing the
Oh,
camera.
yeah, I can't,
Yeah.
as far as the cost is concerned,
Yeah.
I have that same concern, but it's unfortunately, it seems to be what it costs, so.
Is it
but
mandated?
It is
without
mandated
funding?
under
No
under
funding?
federal law, under Homeland Security
Again,
requirements.
it's
so.
not, I'm bringing this up saying between now and indefinitely, is there a cheaper way to go about this whole system? Because this is excessive amount of cost.
Mr. Begley?
Thank you, Commissioner Ellison, for bringing this up. I guess it's a very valid question. Is there something that these cameras do that the cameers that Commissioner Ellison uses?
Well, like
doesn't do?
Mr. Elsing said, they do tie back to our current system. So instead of, gutting that, rebuilding that, we're tying back into that Verkada system that we use across the county. As far as, Karn's area and the courts, we were able to, I think we just got about $200,000 grant to do the state side of things. So that did help a lot, but yeah, it's just
So the reason for the extra cost is because it ties back into.
that, and
a
the
larger
backup is
system
expensive
versus-
on a commercial system. I mean,
there's
it is
like
different.
A ring software.
No, I have multiple different ones, but like I said, I get this. This
Yep.
is the hook that happens when we buy into systems. Because now they got you. And as you expand it out, you're forced to pay whatever fee they have. And that's why I'm saying, what I'm saying is it's now they have you. That's why I always say careful in these contracts or who you go with, because it's the ongoing expenses that get you.
Yeah.
And that's what we're seeing now is an insane amount of cost to put 8 cameras in or 5 cameras in because we have to do it in order to integrate it in. So I'm just raising the question. Is there a long-term outlook to maybe get off the hook of these expensive systems that probably are not as necessary as what they once were, especially as technology evolves and it's, becoming easier and easier to do this. I'm going to say in-house.
Yeah,
In-house
we
management.
we can definitely research them.
I mean, we could
some better
hire a
options.
person almost an entire year to monitor what this monitoring system costs, just on those 5 cameras.
I get it.
That's all I'm challenging.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Would you
Yeah.
like to table it and get the staff?
No, we need to move forward because we need to get the cameras done, but the question just becomes, because this is integrated in, I'm challenging the IT department saying, should we be looking at a different way to do this? So we're not tied into this system where we're forced to pay whatever fees they come up with because
But this is a contract. We're asking to be approved a contract of work, so.
And they,
I mean-
we're about 3/4 of the way done with this camera project. There's some the highway shop, inexpensive, less expensive. I think they need a camera out there and a couple outliers. And then, the Cobb building is the next one on the list, this actual building here. And then after that, we're looking at a card access solution with this company because Banco is who we've had for a long time and there's HR has been struggling with that for a long time. So just to give you an idea where you're at, and I can send you the timeline, Mr. Elsing, and what we've done so far.
Well, and that's
and
where I go
quotes and
back
such.
and, I mean, I've installed card systems and just, I don't pay any fee to it.
Yeah.
You know, you buy the system, you buy the cards, you buy the readers, you put them in and they're internally managed rather than externally managed because every time they come down and fix something, it costs us. There's really no benefit to the ongoing subscription other than it's a way for them to provide a revenue stream to continue their business, which is great. But, you know, we're supporting a company out of the cities and, you know,
Yeah.
I'm challenging the whole thing because it's something I do understand pretty well. And
Those are very important points. So
No, I agree.
right now, you would be okay with approving this, but.
well, we
moving
need to get
forward-
it going and we have to
moving forward,
integrate it.
Looking at other less expensive options.
I'm sorry, but a motion to approve this gives them the go ahead to do this. So I would say let's table it, let staff see if there's other options, as Mr. Elsing, Commissioner Elsing points out, and then bring it back next meeting or whatever. But I mean, again, if you make a motion.
I just want to warn you about that price increase, and it's not just with HBS, it's across the board. Cisco's doing it with our network here. It's just what happens when tariffs go up and we get
Can't we
hit.
find something made in the United States?
I believe
there aren't
ricotta is
tariff-
made in United
Okay,
States,
so the
but,
tariffs shouldn't affect products
But
made in the
yeah.
United States.
right,
Don't blame the tariffs.
okay. That's just what they stated in the email, so I'm passing. it
I
along.
know in Houston County right now, I'm tasked with changing cameras out that we just installed
Mhm.
6 years ago because they were made in China and they
Okay.
can't be part of the system. So now we have to put in American
Because of the
USA
code
made
and
product
everything in the
for
back.
security.
Mhm.
It costs to, I don't know what you're getting on Amazon, but if they're the Chinese brand, you can't operate them in the
Yeah.
government.
It's not, again, I use that as a reference from cheap all the way up to high end. I have cameras that cost a lot of money and I have cameras that don't cost much money. And I'm just simply saying it's not necessarily so much the cost of the equipment. Where they get you is these leasing things. They're fleecing you to have something that has very little value to it besides just somebody else saying I'm monitoring it. Well, what does that do? So when we look at the cost of those things and we incur them into our IT department, I would rather give that money back to our IT department to be able to become self-sufficient and invest the money into us.
Like
rather
I
than another
stated, and it
company.
doesn't make a difference because this isn't coming out of my budget and we don't manage the cameras. It's actually coming out of Aaron and Ross's, so, but money going back is money going back. I
Yeah,
get
to
your point.
whatever department it is, right?
Sounds like Commissioner Ward wants to table, but other commissioners might be willing to move forward. Is there
I
any?
make a motion then to table until further research is provided.
Question for you, Chad. Does
Yep.
this, I recognize the need to get this done.
Yeah.
Just, at the same time, are we just setting a precedent to continue to go down a road that's very expensive? Is there, do you see a short-term fix to this problem or is this a long-term
I
situation?
think it's a
where-
long-term situation.
And that's
So-
where I'm at too, where I think we have to look at the whole scope of
Yeah.
things. Because this is actually going to impede what we need to get done by not doing this. The challenge that I have is I realize short-term, we need to get this
Yeah.
done. And we're gonna probably have to go with this, but I wanna see if there's a way we can get out from underneath of some of these things. in
Well,
the
I
next
just want to make
5
sure
to
that,
10 years.
I was brought in when I started here 5 years ago, Maureen had said that this camera project has been on the back burner for years and years and
Mhm.
years. And I said, well, I used to manage camera projects, I know enough about them, I can help out. And so that's what kind of got this going.
Sure.
A lot of it had to do with safety. We couldn't see faces of people falling. There was a girl that fell over a cone outside last year. Just from that aspect, I think it's good to have a solid solution, and Verkada's known as the best. I mean, they're the best camera solution around, maybe in the nation. So
Commissioner Ward?
The things you're saying make me very nervous because we're looking at one little building But now you said we need to do the county office building. So
Yep.
how does that integrate? Is it better to do the county office building with a broader scope of some of the cameras here, focusing on that building? Because they're a stone's throw from each other. So I mean, and again, with what Commissioner Elsing is saying, we're setting ourselves up to, every system will have a maintenance contract with a huge bill. And can we do some of this internally, monitoring and have a system versus paying somebody, what is it, 14,000 or something, for these
Seems
people?
expensive.
Well,
to
they
look at it?
they did a walkthrough and they did a heat analysis and all the different things to see where the cameras, excuse me, go in all the buildings. And I can send you the quotes and the statement of work for the Cobb as well as I can send you it for all of them. So they did come on site and we did thoroughly go through this with Aaron Lafee. He was the one driving this basically, but
Councilor, did you have something else you want to share with us, please?
Piecemealing it together.
Just with waiting, with the restructuring that we've gone through the last year, we have dead spots within the facilities, and these will be fixing some of those dead spots where I have a worker alone in the back and I have someone up front who is monitoring them. So anytime that you're on the receiving floor, it needs to be monitored by someone. And when I have someone who is on vacation, I need to be able to monitor from my office or I need to relocate. So there are safety considerations that we have to keep in play. We're supposed to have a backup for a primary operator.
Commissioner Elsing and then you, Commissioner Vega.
I'm not, once again, I am not here to validate or invalidate the need for cameras. That's not, we could give 1,000 reasons. There's a reason why I have them all too. It's $21,000 to monitor these 5 cameras. That's $4,500 a year. That's $1,000 a camera per year. I can buy a whole new camera every year and throw the old one away. That's the point I'm getting at. They want $21,000 to monitor 5 cameras. That's insane. So it's $1,000 per camera per year. Every camera, start pointing to them. That's the part that I'm arguing. I'm trying to figure out, there's got to be a cheaper way than $1,000 per camera per year with no value. There's nobody coming fixing that thing for free. There's nothing. That is just just a service charge to own it. That's the issue that I have. I'm looking for a cheaper way, because now let's just redundantly put that out there. If we end up putting 200 cameras in, that's $200,000. That's a levy point just to maintain camera systems.
so not all the cameras are going to be at that cost. These are more specific to that area. Like a lot of the indoor cameras here are quite a bit cheaper. And like I said, I can give you the full quotes for every location in the whole statement of work that was put together.
Even if they're half that, that's still.
And we've been
a lot of
working
money.
through this for like 2 years now, and I heard someone mention piecing it together. It's kind of the opposite of what we're trying to do. Since we have a Verkada command, we want to tie everything into one system, so there's not as many moving parts. So basically, that's part of it.
Commissioner Vega.
Do you want to step in and you have something to say?
Oh,
Sure.
okay.
I just have one thing. I was
Oh,
listening
you-
downstairs.
This is
Sam Michael, Operations Analyst IT.
Thank you. Sounds like
to-
you ran up here.
No, no. To your point, Commissioner Elsing,
Camera.
it is a 10-year service contract. So it's not a per year cost at that amount.
No, I know. I just break it down on 5 cameras. It's $4,500 on the 5 cameras, which breaks down to just under $1,000 per camera per year.
Oh, he's saying it's a 10-year.
It's a 10-year,
So divide the 1,000 by 10.
Oh, so it'd be half that,
100.
so 500,
No,
right?
100.
Or 100.
be $100.
So
Yeah.
$100 per camera.
It's a-
Okay, so 10 years. So it's $100 per camera to operate,
Mhm.
just to be there.
Mhm.
Right. But what do we get out of that?
So it's going to, eventually, the game plan with the Verkada system is to encompass it with the panic alarm system as well. Which is antiquated, what we have now. The buttons don't always
We're
work.
gonna pay for that service.
It's, yes.
Right.
So,
So that doesn't do anything because we're gonna pay to have that service put into place. This is,
right, but it's all
this
gonna
is,
be,
this is the killer of government, Sam,
Mhm.
is it's not about the $100. It's this $100 and that $100 and this $100 and that $100. And it all adds up to millions.
Mhm.
This is how businesses go broke. This is how governments have to tax their people. So it's all these reoccurring costs that companies put in that in their own right don't look bad. But when we go through all of our contracts and we start lining up all these service fees we pay for all this stuff, it's millions of dollars at the end of the year when we add it all up. So this is the way I scrutinize the businesses that I own. I'm looking for 50 cents, $1, $10, $100 going, is this necessary?
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to do here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the cloud hosted solution that we're getting also meets the security standards that we need to have. And I don't remember if it was Ross that said it or it was Commissioner Olson, but there's certain security protocols that we have to follow as a government entity.
Yeah.
And the cloud solution gives us the safety and security of the solution itself that we need, if that makes sense. So right now where we sit is not all of our systems are in coordination, right? So before we did the courthouse, that was on its own separate system. Part of the COB is on its own system. The other half of it's on Verkada. Door access is its own thing. Nothing talks very well nicely to each other right now. The ultimate goal of this whole project is to get everything on the same centralized system so that we have total full security master control of all of our system.
Okay, and so my thing is I would go back to, and this is me, I'm just speaking as a business person. I would go back to this company and now we have lost all control because we are 100% at the mercy of whatever they decide. If they want to jack up their rates, if they want to do anything in 10 years, if they want to change anything, we just have to dangle along with whatever they decide. That's the problem when we hook ourselves into these types of scenarios.
Sure.
I've been there. I've signed many contracts for many millions of dollars before, where all of a sudden now you're under the mercy of whatever they decide because you're in that system and it's too, and then what happens is it's too expensive to change. We just got to pay the fee. And they know that. They know that 100%. And so my thing is I'm trying to figure out, because I don't have the answers and I don't know all the opportunities, but whenever I see these contracts come into play and they're going to continue to expand, what today, especially when it's your own money, you start thinking this way, what are we doing today to ensure that down the road, just like we make decisions here, we hear, well, it's the system we have into place. We don't have a choice. We have to pay the fee. That's where they get you.
The nice thing about the Verkada cameras that we have is, like you say in 10 years that they jack their prices up. Those are easily configurable enough that we could move them to a different solution, but still utilize the infrastructure that's there.
And they lock that price.
And they do lock that price for the 10-year term, right?
Yeah, this I get. I'm just looking down the road going, how can
We're
we
not,
get
we're
out?
not stuck anywhere, like I said. So in 10 years, if all of a sudden they want to, let's say, 22%, they decide to jack our price up, at that point, we can say, okay, is that worth the investment based on where we are now? Or can we take our existing infrastructure and migrate it to a new?
And part of the
platform?
problem right now, Mr. Elsing, is the infrastructure behind the camera system. We're running coax that doesn't work. So cabling's a big part of it, getting all of the runs. So in 10 years, we have, low voltage, we have, run to all the locations. It is just a camera swap at that point. But I do understand where you're coming from in all this, but.
Is there a way in 10 years that we can own the system and we don't need to be subscribed?
The cameras are ours after the contract's up. We
Right.
own them.
So that's what I'm looking for. Maybe this is the right way to get it all started, but in 10 years, technology's gonna keep better. I mean, I went to school for IT. I get it, right? I mean, I did. So
10-year increments.
at the end of the day, that's what I'm looking at
Yeah.
because the cameras will probably become obsolete to a certain extent anyway, but
Yep.
I'm just saying these contracts are the killer of a lot of businesses and government. And I just hate to get in over our head and all of a
The
sudden.
reason I went with the 10-year model is because, the 3-year model was not much less expensive than the 10-year model. And the lifespan of a camera is 10 to 15 years. So that was my thought at 10 years, they're all under the same timeline. And like I mentioned, nice thing about Verkada is that year 9, 364, if that camera dies, they replace it with the best, most recent model for free.
At no addition.
Yeah.
no addition.
Commissioner Bagley has been waiting.
Thank you, everybody. Even though I have major concerns about this creeping big brother problem at all levels of government, I fully agree that we need cameras. I think Commissioner Elson also was made that point. I completely agree with him that there is a need for cameras. So we can get that off the table. The question is are there more cost efficient, cheaper options that still do the job? And do you both feel like there aren't, because like literally we got postcards and when we sat down today, we're gonna make some really difficult decisions later on. And I appreciate what you're doing because we're gonna be asked to make some real uncomfortable decisions later on. And if there's a way to save 2,000, 3,000, 10,000, I've gotten at least 30 emails
Yep.
in addition to postcards and 2 speakers today about just a library issue alone. I think it's worthwhile to explore. And maybe there truly isn't a cheaper way to do it, but if we were to table it for 2 weeks, that's June 23rd-ish. Would there still be time if we decided?
So they gave us an extension once. They said the second extension is not guaranteed. And that's, like I said, that's coming from all vendors. It's not just this vendor. And I do also, I might have lost my train of thought here, but yeah, so I think we'd be going backwards. I do agree that looking at other solutions is a good idea. But as much work as we've put into getting Verkada Command Center set up, getting everything housed under one system in the cloud, tying in a card access and everything, and the 5-year plan that we're in the middle of, I think we'd be going backwards, and at this point would be very difficult.
Is the best at what they do, and if we were to reassess, because we had already, started this project, we're halfway through, right? Like Chad had just said, and if we go back and say, okay, what's out there now, it's going to force us to spend more money because we're going to have to start everything we've done over and get it integrated with that system. Otherwise, we're going to have a multitude of different systems doing the same thing.
Director Sonnenberg wanted to ask a question, and then Commissioner Ward after you.
Yeah.
So I think the reason that I didn't put this agenda together, but the reason that this was on the consent agenda is to save money. Because whether we're 60% of the way done with this project and we stop to reconfigure and do some of what Chad and Sam Michael are referring to a different alternative, the question is, do we want to save $30,000 or $40,000 to keep this camera put in place for our security right now? And I totally understand revisiting the long-term considerations that Winona County needs to make. But the question of why this was on our agenda now is to absolutely comply with the contract to have a discount and avoid increase. So that's the only point.
And I'll also say that we did,
Commissioner Ward.
Oh, sorry.
And, no, you go ahead.
okay,
You can finish.
we did, like I said, we explored other vendors, several, maybe 4, Milestone being one. They were double the price of this. I mean, I think it's just the atmosphere out there with how much things cost. This by far was the best solution. It was reviewed by Maureen was on the calls, Aaron Lafee. It was a group effort. What we do in IT is we listen to like Ross has been needing this for a while and kind of bugging. So we need to get his area done. And then, the COB will be next. And it's just, we try to help facilitate by need. So.
Thank you. So Commissioner Ward and then County Attorney Sonneman and then Commissioner Elson.
Okay, I think part of our angst is the board, doesn't know the plan.
Yeah.
And it feels like it's very piecemeal and it's very expensive because we're paying these quote commissions. Now you say Verkada is the best. How long has Verkada been? And you talk about 10 years. I don't know an IT person that lives in a 10-year increment. You guys live in 10 minutes and 10 months. I mean, the things are going to change so much.
Right.
I mean, who thought 10 years ago we would all have these things sitting here, cell phones? I mean, technology is going to change rapidly.
We're not saying that it's not going to change in 10 years. We're just saying that if we push the
But we're
contract out 10
committing to
years,
We're committing to 10
we are
years.
because of the fact that if in 5 years, things change and the cameras don't work, we get a free upgrade.
I
Like
question,
if they,
who's going to give you a free upgrade?
It's part of the service contract with Verkada's.
Okay, again,
their
I don't know
equipment
that.
is always,
But who's Verkada?
Most-
Who is Verkada? I mean, you seem to be saying they're
be
the
honest with
best.
you,
I have no idea who they are. What other county
I'm looking
government
for-
uses them?
I can,
always like
I
to
can
know.
send you information.
I mean, are
I
they
can-
gonna be around 10 years from now? That's a
Yeah,
question
they're-
too of any major. And with Commissioner Olson's comment, are these American-made systems?
Yep.
You know that.
I can
It
send
says
you, I can
made-
send you all the
It says
information.
made in America. So it's compliance with the federal government mandates.
Yes.
Okay.
So County Attorney Sonneman, then Commissioner Elsing, then Commissioner Olson.
So I've been sitting here reading what you put in the agenda, and I don't see anywhere where it was sent to our office for review. And I don't see anything in the statement of work that says what, usually there's a termination clause or something like that, if something goes bad with
Yeah,
the
we can
equipment.
get out.
Now, you just said that they would replace something that might be
Mhm.
broken or whatever. I don't see that in here either.
I can get
That's
I can
in the
get them.
master contract that we
The-
originally
that-
signed.
Okay, the master.
Yeah.
And that might have been signed a couple of years ago when this started with them. So,
The master
but
contract?
it might, I don't remember, but I
It would've
can,
been
I can.
Midland Business Systems.
Yeah.
I'll take a look and obviously get that over
I-
here.
I would just raise cautionary flag here because signing something like this, kind of sight unseen is very dangerous. So, I would rather that, I mean, I would, from the legal point of view, I would support tabling at least so I could see the rest of what I don't like about these contracts is that there's always, a link that links to an even bigger contract, read and give. And I see a few of those here.
Yeah, we can send you that for sure. Because this is our fifth or sixth project with this company in the last couple of years.
Understand that, Chad.
Mhm.
I guess, you said you all got together as a group, but what bothers me is we don't, legal doesn't get concluded until the very last minute. And on this one, I haven't seen this at all until now, so.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's very important, especially for these long-term contracts. 10 years is a long time. So I guess I would.
So I had the motion to table. Is there
Okay,
a second?
Commissioner Elsing and then Commissioner Olson.
I am not trying to disrupt you guys by any means. I am so sorry.
That's okay.
I just look at these things, the long-term costs. And that's what I see this becoming is a very long-term, today it's increments coming in, but when you get challenged on these boards, Chad and Sam, I mean, it's amazing how you have to scrutinize things with very little information. And so unfortunately, this isn't a one-time thing. It's going to keep happening. So I'm just kind of going, whoa, hold on here. This could turn into something much bigger down the road where somebody not sitting here doesn't understand and they just pay the bill and that's what ends up happening, right? Guilty of that because there's things come across that I don't really understand the background. So you kind of go with it until you understand it better. So that's what I'm trying to do is make sure I'm trying to put some emphasis on this and this come across the agenda and I read through it and I studied it and I know something about this stuff. And I said, are we getting ourselves into a hole here that might be hard to get back out of if we need to? My goal with this would be if we need to go down this road to get started, great. And I understand, I appreciate it. This takes a lot of work and I know that.
Yep.
But at the same time, the ultimate goal that I think would be if we could somehow in-house take care of this to get rid of all the subscription fees or whatever that might be on some sort of legal basis. I don't have all the information, but you see where I'm going, that we could stop the reoccurring things. It's the same thing with the police department. One of the first contracts when I got on board, I read through the whole thing and there was a 5% incremental increase every year. Well, you compound 5%, that gets really expensive in 10 years. It more than doubles the cost. So, and I just challenged that and said, who didn't see the fine print? So that's where I'm just looking at because that's how these expenses grow in government and business. So I'd be okay with tabling if we have to. I think this will end up, we will have to go through this, to get this all established. But I would hope that somehow, some way we could lower the cost and bring the expense in-house.
And just for the record, we're already halfway through, too. Like, we're not just getting started with this
Yeah.
project.
Which is why I said
Right,
we're gonna
yeah.
have to move through this and again, so.
Commissioner Olson, then Commissioner Vogler.
Did I hear you say you seconded the motion? We're having a lot.
Well, I
we're having
wasn't
a lot of
going to,
discussion
but-
about a motion that hasn't been
Right.
seconded.
If you're asking me a question, if you don't mind, you asked me the question, so I'll answer it. Yeah, I guess I was actually gonna go through with it, but if we need to table it for legal side, then I guess we probably.
I can also say just from a time perspective, we're short-staffed already. I don't know how much effort my team will be able to help with this. I don't know where Aaron is and his stance and how busy he is, but I don't know how much time we'd be able to invest in looking at this in the next couple of weeks or.
Mr. Vagley.
I would have also voted to second the table, and I'm going to vote in favor of tabling it. And I guess, but first a question to our county attorney. Do you have time in the next 2 weeks? I know we send a lot of things to your office. Do you have time?
Well, I would make the time, and right now I have time, and I was gonna tell you guys, if you can give me the paperwork, I will look at it. I mean, I'll make it my priority this week.
Sure.
I am on vacation next week, but hey, I can do anything on my farm for
Sure.
but I would.
We'll look
intend
at-
to
we can look
get
today.
back to you. Just want to see what all those little links
Eggs.
go to
Yeah.
this thing and that thing. And you said that you've already started this years ago with, what was it? I know, I saw the name, yeah.
Yep.
So I'd like to see that original contract, maybe height that, if that's accessible, and, you know, I would just take a look at all that for you guys.
And
Don't hate me, Chad.
And
I've
I
known you too
appreciate-
long. Don't
I
worry about it.
appreciate you and your office doing that. And if it could be done in 2 weeks, that's important.
Well, I'd get it done by then.
And I realize you have much
So-
bigger fish to fry.
Yeah.
Ransomware fish especially, in the aftermath. But could you guys, in, I guess, a few bullet points, explain why it's not possible to find a less expensive system like what Commissioner Elsing uses?
Yeah.
And I appreciate that, because if he can call up 8 to 10 cameras on his phone, and I understand a totally integrated system across different buildings and different platforms. It's probably way more complex. I know that I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I don't know. I know that.
A lot of
I
it
know-
has to do with the
Yep.
state
a
standards
couple-
and connections.
Without dumping hours and hours on you, like in a few bullet points. A very valid point is
Mhm.
why there isn't a cheaper way to do this.
I think a big piece of that is the state, the standards that come from the state. It has to be on a secure line.
Yep.
And, you know, but we can
Yep.
lay it out
While,
for you.
while Commissioner Elsing might be able to look at his security cameras on his phone, it's also highly likely that someone could hack the Internet of Things and be able to see that as well, and we need those security.
It's an argument that, if you
Yeah,
could
that's-
use it.
I use that just.
Yeah, I get it.
I'm using that as an example.
Well,
I'm
our
just-
system's obviously hackable too, so.
Yeah,
Obviously,
everything's
Yeah,
happening.
But there's a security level that we're
True. a higher
required by, okay.
All right.
So Commissioner Ward has made a motion to table this. It's a tabling till the next meeting on the 23rd. We're looking at getting some things done before then. I'm not sure that I actually heard a formal second.
I'll second the motion.
Okay. Commissioner Vagley is seconding that motion. Is there any further discussion?
There can't be
No.
discussion on weighing on the table, so.
Okay, so all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Is anyone opposed? Say nay.
Nay.
Is that a evening meeting? or-
Yes.
Yes.
We'll both be out of town at a conference, but we can jump on. So,
Thank you.
all right,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you, Chad.
you.
Thanks,
Bye.
Michael.
You're gonna review that right away. And I was actually gonna let it go until you said, yeah.
You know, I have some
Right.
reservations about what, I mean.
Yeah.
'cause
These
all they
contracts
is
have
the
tails
salary.
and.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
There's
you
a
don't know what
master
you're getting
agreement,
yourself
so
Thank you
into.
for bringing that up.
Okay, item 8.01 is to approve the performance measures resolution. Commissioner Ward, you had some questions?
Well, of course, and I know this has come before us before.
Every year, I think.
Yeah, but I don't know really, and again, it's something that the state put in back in, I think, what, 2010 or something like that. I mean, it's antiquated, but one of the things that was disturbing to me is when you look at the first, and it's the public safety, so it's page 25. You know, there's a bunch of, and again, I apologize, I don't understand it enough. You know, there's a bunch of offenses reported, and then the crime rate, and then the rest of the columns, most of them, they're zeros. So what did we do? What purpose does this report and this thing do? And then incidentally, I think we all get this. So last night when I was watching my late night basketball game, I opened it up and there's an article in our NACO newspaper. I think everybody gets this. Measure what matters, only what matters. And the whole thing is what do we do with this information? And then did we get, I guess, I don't know where in the budget, you remind me in the budget line, it says we get like 14 cents per capita, not to exceed $25,000. Do we actually receive $25,000 from the state for doing this? I mean, it seems like, yeah, it's data, but what do we do with it? Does it really have relevance and does it have value? And I don't know, Mr. Sonnenberg's been with us a short time, but I would like to know in the budget where the $25,000 is, or do we even get $25,000? And what's it taking us to put this together? And is it something we should ask the legislature to review or abolish or, tell us what they're doing with it? I think it's busy work to me. It feels like busy work. I don't know if anybody else's perspective on it, and Ms. Holte's not here, but we've been doing it for a long time. But what purpose does it serve is my question. And I would encourage people to read this little article about performance measures.
So I guess the question.
We accept it, isn't it? just
The way
accept it?
I hear
Approve.
your concern is what is the recourse?
Yeah, I mean,
You know,
well,
we-
did we get,
again, if it becomes, I agree. I mean, if it's just busy work and there's nothing that comes out of it, then yes, that is classified
and
as
especially if
busy.
we didn't get the $25,000, it says that we're eligible for if we do it.
Right. I don't know,
So-
did we?
Yeah, I'd have to look.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess, it basically says approve the resolution. So I'll move to approve it, but I want some follow-up on it. What are we doing with it? And
I'll second that motion.
Commissioner Ward has moved, Commissioner Vagley has seconded approval of the resolution, potentially with some follow-up that has some questions. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Is anyone opposed? Say nay. Motion carries.
The intentions are good, accountability for counties, cities. but
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, is anyone actually looking at it?
yeah, are they
Have
doing?
the school districts all.
Otherwise,
of
we're
it
just giving
jump
some-
through 1,000.
Here's another job to get.
People don't remember why the first 900 hoops exist anymore.
Yeah, yeah. And again, it was 2010, so that's
Okay.
16 years ago.
Our next item of business is to conduct a public hearing regarding amendments to our 2026 fee schedule. Is there someone to lead us off in the conversation?
I think we probably.
Well, I
Necessary.
guess every
Is it
department.
necessary? Do you see anything that we need to change?
No, these were just recommendations that were sought by each department within Winona County, and
They're in
there
red,
were
yeah.
some additions and edits as provided by each department head in their representation.
I'll move to open the public hearing.
Thank
Is
you.
that the next step?
Okay, Commissioner Vagley moves, Commissioner Olson seconds, opening the public hearing. Is there anyone here in the public, in the room or online that would, oh, wait. All those, is there any further discussion on opening the public hearing? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Is anyone opposed? Okay, public hearing is open. So now, is there anyone here in the room or online that would like to share some thoughts related to the fee schedule? We are limiting the speaking time to 2 minutes. If you are here in the room, please come forward to the microphone, tell us your name and address, and share your thoughts about the fee schedule. If you're online, please unmute yourself. I will ask 2 more times. Is there anyone here or online that would like to participate in the public hearing related to the 2026 fee schedule? And for the final time, is there anyone here in the room or online that would like to make a public comment at this hearing about the fee schedule for 2026?
I'll move to close the public hearing.
Second.
Okay. Commissioner Vagley moves, Commissioner Olson seconds, closing of the public hearing related to the fee schedule. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Does anyone opposed, say nay? Okay, the public hearing is closed. Commissioner Ward?
Unfortunately, I see Planning Director Dunsmore isn't here. There's been some discussion when we go to the planning of, after the fact permitting, when people go ahead and do things and then they come in afterwards and ask for,
Forgiveness?
yeah, especially right now in my backyard, I've got some land disturbance and everything going. And I think one of those is gone on with, oh, there he comes, without. And so I see in here there is some that have an after the fact fee, but there's some that don't. And when we talk about land and we talk about planning, a lot of times we ask the Soil and Water Conservation District to weigh in on factors. And are they compensated for what they do? Well, we give them general funding, but should there be a fee for if a soil and water conservation officer or, staff person is required to review something, should there be a fee for that organization? But this whole idea of after the fact is really irritating some of the planning commission members that, yeah, it's easier to ask for, forgiveness than it is permission.
Adjustment.
Yeah.
Good
So-
morning. Mr. Kranz,
This is.
Russ Dunsmore, Planning
Yeah.
and Environmental Services Director.
Yeah.
Mr. Kranz did finish reviewing the language with the after the fact, and he does have some recommendations, so we will be bringing forward some proposed changes for 2027 on the after the fact.
Okay, so there may be an addition, which we
Right
can
now,
always,
it just completed attorney review,
okay,
making sure of ordinance language as well as the fee schedule language, and there are some recommended changes that Steve has.
okay, so that may address it.
Mr.
Okay,
Elsing?
thank you.
Yeah, I guess that was exactly where I was going is I receive multiple phone calls about after the fact permitting and, what are we doing to stop that? And I think it's a bigger issue than what we, I think, realize. And it's actually brought up quite often to me. So.
Yeah, it's strictly, what has been brought forward in the past is really the gist of what is the board's desire. The focus has in the past always been bring people into compliance, and less punitive. But that sends a message, as you've indicated, and we may need to be making some changes to balance that off.
So one question I have with that is, you talk about the punitive side. I mean, it's a difficult position to get put into because really, is it a legal battle to go in and accuse somebody of doing something? I mean, how does a department head or anybody go in and say, well, you should have, and then now does that turn into a civil case, a criminal case? I'm not really sure. You see where I'm going to this, where they say, hey, you're accusing me of something I didn't do, or no, that was always there. I question what authority the planning or whoever has to be able to go in and say.
Usually the pathway is, well, I didn't realize I needed to,
Yeah, oh yeah,
How
well,
we
I
use
know
that.
excuses come out. So I'm just
So-
saying, if we push the issue and they push back, does it become a court case? Does it become, do we have the right to go in and say, sheriff, go in and stop it? I mean, this question has been asked to me, like, what authority do you have to tell somebody to say no until at what point? Does the sheriff go enforce it? Who's the actual enforcer to go in and shut a project down and say you can no longer do something? And I don't have an answer to that question.
Yeah, the zoning ordinance does provide that. We don't use that lightly, and we would always do it after consulting with the attorney's office. And generally, we would take law enforcement with us.
So so the sheriff has the ability to go in and stop a project if we feel as though it's an unpermitted.
We can
project.
issue a stop work order, yes.
Right, but who enforces it? That's the question I've been.
We would
asking.
enforce that with the sheriff's department.
sheriff's
After
department.
after consulting with the
Okay.
attorney.
This is a question I've been asked and I don't have an answer. So, yeah, so the sheriff's department is ultimately the enforcer for a project that the county has said needs to stop because of whatever permit. Is that
I
correct?
mean, there's a limit to what they can do as well for civil action because
Right.
the resident then does have right of appeal.
Yeah.
So there's only so far that the law enforcement can go as well.
And our office, excuse me, our office would be notified, as Mr. Dunsmore was mentioning, and if it's to the extent, the serious degree where our office would be notified, we'd work together with environmental services planning and the sheriff's department to determine what steps legally should be done.
Is it a civil infraction or
It could be
criminal?
It could be usually any violation of the zoning ordinances could be a misdemeanor.
Misdemeanors, civil,
Criminal.
criminal? Okay,
Mhm.
I've been asked that question
That's a
too.
case. I won't mention the name, but multiple misdemeanor charges
I did that.
daily.
Yeah, I did both.
Yeah.
And then they were
Oh, yeah.
consolidated into one charge and
No,
pretty much watered away.
But
That was the extreme.
Commissioner Elsing, are you done?
yeah, I just, well, thank you for clearing that up. Because
Commissioner Ward, and then I think Commissioner Begley.
A question, because a lot of our fee schedule has to do with planning and zoning. Now, with 3 townships leaving Winona County Planning and Zoning, do they have to adopt this? Are they under any obligation to have these?
They set their own fees.
They set their own, so they aren't tied with what we have here.
And
Okay.
they have already adopted them. They have them on their TPA website.
Okay,
so.
all right, thank you.
Commissioner Begley.
And just to clarify, we're not approving the actual changes of fees. This was just,
Yeah, are we being asked to approve it today?
the agenda just said
Just
conduct
conduct.
public
Yeah.
hearing.
This is just the public.
Okay, so no, we're not gonna make a
No-
decision.
no
today.
action.
Okay, great.
No. Well, that allows the public to weigh in and
They want,
they want to. Yes.
any further discussion on this item? Hearing none, we'll move on. Commissioner.
Oh, we did.
Motion to close.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
Oh, we close it.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we did close it. Never
Yeah.
mind. Yeah, we did.
We had our-
Begley and Olson. Okay. So moving on, Commissioner Begley, you had 2 comments, you said?
The library, that's something I received, I think we all have a lot of comments on, a lot of feedback, easily 30 emails, in-person conversations, phone calls today, postcards and public comments. And I appreciate all that feedback. Thank you for that. Just to clarify, we are not currently, nowhere have we discussed in terms of an official action, making that $76,000 cut. It was something that came up during a work session, and the public is going to see a number of exercises or thought experiments, or like going through different scenarios. I think we should be, and I own this, we need to be more clear that it's not going to happen. It's just part of the budget process is to go through these scenarios. And so to the people who've contacted us, we hear you. I appreciate that feedback, but just know that nothing is currently on the table. Is that fair and accurate to say? And secondly, every July 4th is a special birthday. This July 4th is the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. One of the most beautiful parts of our country's beautiful history are those words that we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. They're endowed by their creator with certain unalienable rights. Among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Sorry for a social studies teacher nerd moment. But more importantly, Visit Winona, Commissioner Ward and I have been part of a kind of a loose and formal group that and it's not just the city of Winona, it's Winona County has been discussing like, what can we do to better, celebrate this important holiday? And Visit Winona, if you go to Visit Winona, there's a page that's been created off of it. It says America 250 Winona County. We discussed possibly doing something bigger, either at the county fair or in the city of Winona, but all the fireworks vendors are already reserved. And it's just, unfortunately, it was hard to create something new, but there were all kinds of other events that were already happening that are now linked in one page. If you have a chance, go to Visit Winona's website and look for America 250. There are all kinds of wonderful, wonderful things happening all over Winona County. It's already started through June, July, and into August as well. So I want to encourage folks to check that out and thank Jose Peleas, who's not the police chief in St. Charles. It's his brother, for creating this webpage. That's it. Thank you.
Mr. Elson.
Good. Little laundry list of things here. One thing I wanted to bring up was the Minnesota City building update. It's something I had talked about and brought up. I really haven't heard anything about that. So I wanted to bring it up on public record that again, I'm asking, where are we at with that situation? 13 years running. I'd like to continue to push to expedite that. Second thing is just been still receiving some phone calls on taxes and checks and things like that in the office. So just making sure that everything is going smoothly in that office. Chad, I didn't mean to stir the pot. So, but please understand my cautions. Also wanted to thank Tony Honze. Obviously I chair the Road and Bridge Committee and I've had to reach out to him several times. He's obviously took over Tim Port's job and Tony's been very responsive and helping me out in some different situations, even just yesterday. And so just wanted to thank him for the good job he's doing. Just a reminder, you brought the 250 thing up, so we'll let that one go. And a reminder, the county fair is coming up quicker than what we know. It's crazy to think 4th of July is right around the corner. So just reminding everybody to attend our county fair. So.
Thank you. Commissioner Ward?
Yes, last Monday, we had our AMC district meeting in Casson. And they gave an update of the legislative session as they always do. It was, in a way, rather anticlimactic. A lot didn't get done, but a little got done. Plus is they did put some money in for modernization, not nearly enough, but at least it's a start. And I know Representative Jacob has been a real advocate for that because him and I agree that anybody that runs for a state office should also have on their resume and be able to check off a local elected office, especially county commissioner, because then they would understand all the things that they're asked to do.
I'm into that.
Yeah, yeah. So we got to get that on the resume for that. Plus is they did not cut county program aid, but again, they did not increase it. So with inflation and everything, we're behind again
I
with
think that
county.
went down actually 50,000.
Yeah, I mean, so the formula didn't help us at all. There are recaps, both AMC and Micah have recaps on their website of all the legislation and everything that was done. One of the things that affects all counties is our armor system. You know, we built out the armor system probably, you talk about 10 years. We built it out 10 years ago. It desperately needs upgrading and new stuff, new technology. So they did create a task force for funding Armor All. Most of the armor was funded. Yeah, was
Radio systems. correct.
yeah, the radio systems for the sheriff and dispatch and everything. So initially it was funded with a lot of federal and state dollars. We didn't spend much locally at all, except for a lot of radios and things like that. So it's a task force to talk about funding the upgrades to the armor system moving forward. And the counties will have some representation, and I advised Julie Ring of that so we can get county people on that task force. The other thing is, it was kind of mentioned, please be careful. There is a lot of public safety driving. There is a lot of road construction going on, both county, township, interstate, I-90. Please just be aware of it seems like the merging lanes have gotten very short for people to get on and off of major thoroughfares and know what's going on. And with agriculture doing their work, please be cognizant of what's going on around you. Put the cell phones down and pay attention. We don't need anybody being damaged. But with that road thing, one of the things my township is getting used, township roads are getting used as detours off of major I-90 projects. And luckily, through Dave Kramer's office and the state, we have gotten some road counter, vehicle counters so that they can determine if they're, I-90 or federal or state road projects are impacting local roads. And should a local road, I had Mike Flynn in Hillsdale, for the 14, they used a small part of Hillsdale. And, it took a real beating, but they don't want to pay for that beating. And so why
It's
should
very
a
small
township?
what they pay. They do pay.
Yeah,
but it's
very small. But why should a township have to fix up a road that a state or a federal project, did to enhance their road? So they were very good about getting Dresbeck and New Hartford and such some counters so they can verify how much traffic has changed and if there's issues. So we need to be cognizant of that. Traffic.
I had 3 things I would like to share.
Please.
Okay, number 1, we got a press release from the Department of Ag. They're going to be spongy moth aerial management. There are 5 areas: Winona, Beaver, Stockton, Latch, and Elba. And they say that they are going to start sending out these postcards this week. If you are in one of those areas, you should get this postcard. It has some information on it that tells you where you can text to get very specific information. They're saying the activities will start June 24th through July 1st, in case you're in one of those areas. Number 2, next Tuesday, we are holding the Board of Appeal and Equalization. So if folks have concerns about their property valuations, Tuesday night at 6 o'clock, I think, is when the board is holding that session, and folks can come and speak to us. Many of them probably would have spoken with our assessor in advance of that, and she'll be presenting information about those folks she has recommendations on. The third thing, the MICA meeting, Minnesota Inter-County Association meeting, board meeting is tomorrow. I understand that we did get some backfill money for SNAP and we got some backfill money for the ACT. Not enough, but something. And I'm hoping that they'll tell us soon what the county allocation is, and that's something MICA usually calculates. So hopefully we'll know that soon, and that will help in some small way with our budget situation. Are there additional comments? Mr. Vagley, then.
Thank you. Commissioner Ward brought up, Representative, Jacob. I want to also thank him for his work on the African American Family Preservation Act, because he sees very well the impact on counties. We disagree on a number of things, but I strongly agree with him about either fully fund the mandate or take it away. So I want to thank him for that. And also, in addition, thank you for bringing up the Board of Equalization. Also, on next Tuesday morning, we have our road tour date, right? Where the 5 of us will be taking our. All right, perfect. Thank you. That's
It's
it.
at 9,
9, yep.
and we're meeting at the county building,
At the highway.
or the highway building, yeah.
Highway.
And we don't have a place to eat. They're gonna line that up. So I think we go to your house.
Do we need to eat?
I think we go to your
Protein
place.
bars.
Yeah.
I'll give you a protein bar.
Just one correction, the meeting next Tuesday is 6:30.
6:30?
6:30,
Thank you
Board
very
of
much.
Equalization, 6:30.
Appreciate it. Okay. Anything else?
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you.
I'll second that.
Great. Commissioner Olson moves, Commissioner Vagley seconds adjournment of this meeting. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
If anyone's opposed, say nay. We stand adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Commissioner Meyer, we also have